Adaptation mechanisms are fascinating processes that allow living organisms to adjust to their environments, ensuring their survival and reproduction. These mechanisms can be physiological, behavioral, or structural, and they illustrate the incredible diversity of life on Earth. For instance, consider the way some animals, like the Arctic fox, change their coat color with the seasons. In winter, their fur turns white, providing camouflage against the snowy landscape, while in summer, it shifts to a brown hue that blends with the tundra. This seasonal adaptation not only helps them avoid predators, but also aids in hunting for prey, showcasing a remarkable example of structural adaptation. Moving to the plant kingdom, think about the adaptations of cacti, which thrive in arid environments. Their thick, fleshy stems store water, while their spines reduce water loss and protect them from herbivores. Additionally, cacti have a unique photosynthesis process called cam-crassylation acid metabolism, which allows them to take in carbon dioxide at night, minimizing water loss during the hot daytime. This physiological adaptation is crucial for their survival in extreme desert conditions. Behavioral adaptations are equally intriguing. Take migratory birds, for example. Many species migrate thousands of miles to find food and suitable breeding grounds. This behavior is not just instinctual, it is a learned skill, often passed down through generations. Birds like the Arctic tern, which migrates from the Arctic to the Antarctic, showcase incredible endurance and navigational skills, adapting to the challenges of long-distance travel. In aquatic environments, some fish have developed fascinating adaptations to cope with varying levels of salinity. For instance, the salmon is an anadromous fish, which means it migrates from the ocean to freshwater rivers to spawn. This life cycle requires physiological changes. Salmon must adapt their bodies to handle both saltwater and freshwater environments, a process known as osmoregulation. Their ability to switch between these two drastically different habitats is a remarkable example of adaptation. Similarly, the phenomenon of mimicry in the animal kingdom provides yet another layer of adaptation. The stick insect, for instance, has evolved to resemble twigs and branches, making it nearly invisible to predators. This form of camouflage is a crucial survival strategy, allowing them to evade detection while they feed on leaves. Another striking example is the viceroy butterfly, which mimics the appearance of the toxic monarch butterfly. Predators learn to avoid the viceroy, mistaking it for its toxic counterpart, thus enhancing. When we talk about physiological stress responses, we delve into how our body reacts to stressors, which can range from daily pressures to significant life events. The human body is equipped with an intricate system designed to handle stress, prominently featuring the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and adrenal glands, collectively known as the HPA axis. When a person encounters a stressful situation, the hypothalamus releases corticotropin-releasing hormone, which signals the pituitary gland to release adrenocorticotropic hormone, leading to the stimulation of the adrenal glands. This cascade results in the release of cortisol, often referred to as the stress hormone. Cortisol plays a crucial role in managing how our body uses carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and it helps control blood sugar levels, regulate metabolism, and reduce inflammation. Alongside cortisol, adrenaline is another hormone that surges during stress, contributing to what we call the fight-or-flight response. This response is an evolutionary adaptation that prepares the body to either confront or flee from perceived threats. Adrenaline increases heart rate, elevates blood pressure, and boosts energy supplies. The combination of these hormones can lead to various physiological changes, such as heightened alertness, increased blood flow to muscles, and dilated air passages, all of which are vital for immediate physical action. However, these responses are designed for short-term challenges. When stress becomes chronic, the repeated activation of this system can lead to negative health effects. Prolonged elevated cortisol levels can disrupt various bodily functions, leading to issues like hypertension, weight gain, sleep disturbances, and a weakened immune system. Interestingly, not all stress is harmful. Some stress can motivate individuals and enhance performance. Conversely, distress, which is negative stress, can overwhelm an individual, leading to anxiety and other mental health issues. The way one experiences stress is also influenced by several factors, including genetics, personality, and past experiences. For instance, individuals who are more resilient may cope better with stress and recover more quickly from stressful situations. Additionally, the body's response to stress can vary based on the type of stressor. For example, physical stress from exercise can elicit different responses compared to emotional stress from work or relationships. Another fascinating aspect of physiological stress responses is how our body communicates with the brain. The brain constantly monitors the body's state, and when psychological resilience, a fascinating topic, refers to the ability of individuals to adapt well in the face of adversity, trauma, tragedy, or significant sources of stress, such as family and relationship problems, serious health issues, or workplace challenges. It is not just about bouncing back, as many people might think, but rather about how one can grow and thrive in the face of difficulties. This quality can be developed and strengthened over time through various strategies and practices. Research has shown that resilient individuals often have a strong sense of purpose, maintain a positive outlook, and possess solid problem-solving skills. They tend to have strong social networks, which provide support and help them cope with stressors. Interestingly, resilience is not a fixed trait, but rather a dynamic process that can change depending on circumstances and experiences. Moreover, certain factors contribute to building psychological resilience, including emotional awareness, self-regulation, and self-efficacy. Emotional awareness allows individuals to understand their feelings and reactions, enabling them to respond more effectively to stress. Self-regulation helps people manage their emotions and behaviors, ensuring they remain calm and focused during challenging times. Self-efficacy, on the other hand, refers to one's belief in their ability to succeed in specific situations, which can motivate individuals to take on challenges rather than shy away from them. Engaging in mindfulness practices, such as meditation or yoga, can also enhance resilience by promoting emotional regulation and reducing stress. Another key element is the ability to reframe negative thoughts. This cognitive flexibility allows individuals to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. For instance, someone who loses a job might initially feel defeated, but a resilient person may instead see this as an opportunity to explore new career paths or develop new skills. Additionally, having a strong sense of community and belonging can significantly bolster resilience. People who feel connected to others are often better equipped to handle stress, as they have access to support and encouragement from those around them. Furthermore, it's important to recognize that resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but rather about facing them head-on. Those who are resilient understand that struggles are a part of life, and they embrace the lessons that come from overcoming challenges. They often cultivate an attitude of gratitude, which helps them focus on what they have rather than what they lack. This positive mindset can lead to improved mental health and overall well-being. Studies have also indicated that childhood experiences play a substantial role in developing resilience. Children who grow up, when it comes to shelter construction techniques, human ingenuity shines through the ages, reflecting different cultures, climates, and available materials. One of the oldest methods, used by various indigenous tribes around the world, is the creation of a simple lean-to, which consists of a slanted roof supported by a single long pole, leaning against a sturdy tree or another post. This design is not only easy to construct, but it also provides basic protection from rain and wind, making it a practical choice for temporary shelters. As we move forward in time, we find the use of adobe, a traditional building material made from clay and straw, which has been employed for thousands of years. Particularly in arid regions like the American Southwest, and parts of the Middle East. Adobe structures, with their thick walls, are excellent at regulating temperature, keeping interiors cool during the day and warm at night. This technique showcases how local materials can be utilized effectively, adapting to the surrounding environment. In colder climates, a technique known as the igloo has been developed by the Inuit people. These dome-shaped structures are made from blocks of compressed snow, which surprisingly insulate very well. The design is not only functional, but also reflects a deep understanding of the local environment, showcasing the use of available resources to create a warm and safe living space in the harshest of conditions. Moving to more modern approaches, the concept of earth-sheltered homes has gained popularity, where buildings are partially buried in the ground. This method takes advantage of the Earth's natural insulation properties, maintaining a stable indoor climate regardless of external weather conditions. The result is energy-efficient homes that blend seamlessly into their surroundings, often covered with grass or other vegetation, which further enhances thermal performance while promoting biodiversity. Another interesting technique is the use of straw bales in construction, which has become increasingly popular in sustainable building practices. Straw bales are not only renewable, but they also provide excellent insulation, making them a great choice for eco-friendly homes. These bales can be stacked to form walls, which are then plastered with natural materials to create sturdy, aesthetically pleasing structures. Additionally, the rise of tiny homes has introduced innovative construction techniques, emphasizing minimalism and efficiency. Many tiny homes utilize modular designs, which allow for quick assembly and disassembly, often incorporating reclaimed materials to reduce waste. This trend reflects a shift in how people view space and sustainability, encouraging a lifestyle that prioritizes experience over excess. Furthermore, the ancient practice, water purification, is a critical process that ensures the safety and cleanliness of drinking water, with various methods available to achieve this goal. One of the oldest and most straightforward techniques is boiling, which effectively kills bacteria, viruses, and parasites by heating water to its boiling point, usually around 100 degrees Celsius, for at least 1 minute. This method, while simple, requires a heat source and may not remove chemical contaminants. Another common approach is filtration, where water passes through a physical barrier, such as a filter made of sand, charcoal, or ceramic, capturing impurities, sediments, and larger particles. Filtration systems can vary significantly, with some designed for home use, while others are large-scale systems for treating municipal water supplies. Chemical disinfection is also widely used, with chlorine being one of the most popular disinfectants. When added to water, chlorine kills pathogens, although it may leave a residual taste and odor. Another chemical method involves the use of ozone, which is a powerful oxidant that can eliminate bacteria and viruses without leaving harmful byproducts, making it an appealing choice for some water treatment facilities. Ultraviolet UV light treatment offers yet another effective method, as it uses UV rays to inactivate microorganisms by damaging their DNA, rendering them unable to reproduce. This method is fast and does not introduce any chemicals into the water, but it requires electricity and clear water to be effective. Reverse osmosis is an advanced purification technique that uses a semi-permeable membrane to remove a wide range of contaminants, including salts, bacteria, and even some viruses. This process pushes water through the membrane, leaving impurities behind, and is often used in both residential systems and large-scale water treatment plants. Distillation is another effective method, which involves boiling water and then collecting the steam as it condenses back into liquid. This process separates water from most contaminants, including heavy metals and salts, although it can be energy-intensive and may not be practical for all situations. Activated carbon is frequently used in many household water filters, as it effectively absorbs organic compounds, chlorine, and some heavy metals, improving taste and smell. This method works well for smaller volumes of water, but may need to be replaced regularly to maintain effectiveness. Solar water disinfection SODIS is an innovative method that utilizes sunlight to purify water, especially in areas with limited access to clean water. By placing clear plastic bottles filled with water in direct sunlight for several hours, UV rays and heat work together to kill. Food foraging, an age-old practice, has seen a resurgence in popularity as more people seek to connect with nature and understand where their food comes from. One effective strategy for foraging involves knowing the seasons, as many edible plants and mushrooms have specific times when they are most abundant. For instance, spring often brings a variety of wild greens, such as dandelion leaves and wild garlic, while summer can yield berries, like blackberries and blueberries. Autumn, on the other hand, is the prime time for mushrooms, including chanterelles and porcini. Understanding the seasonal availability of these foods not only enhances the foraging experience, but also ensures that one can find the freshest, most flavorful options available. Another key strategy is to learn about the different ecosystems in your area, as various habitats support different types of edible plants and fungi. For example, wetlands may offer cattails and watercress, while forests might provide nuts, such as acorns and hickory nuts, along with a variety of mushrooms. Each ecosystem has its own unique offerings, and familiarizing oneself with these can greatly expand the forager's repertoire. Moreover, it's important to observe the local wildlife, as animals often indicate the presence of certain plants. For instance, if you see deer feeding on a particular type of plant, it may be worth investigating. When foraging, identification is crucial, as many edible plants have toxic lookalikes. Using a reliable field guide or a foraging app can help in accurately identifying plants and mushrooms. Additionally, attending foraging workshops or joining local foraging groups can provide valuable hands-on experience and knowledge from seasoned foragers. It's advisable to start with easily identifiable and commonly found plants, such as nettles or wild strawberries, before moving on to more challenging finds. Ethical foraging practices are also essential, as they ensure sustainability and respect for nature. This involves only taking what you need, leaving plenty for wildlife and other foragers, and being mindful of the laws regarding foraging in certain areas, such as national parks. Additionally, one should avoid foraging in polluted areas, such as roadsides or industrial sites, to prevent consuming contaminated plants. Foraging can also be a social activity, as sharing the experience with friends or family not only makes it more enjoyable, but also allows for the exchange of tips and knowledge. Cooking the foraged food together can be a rewarding way to celebrate the bounty of nature. Furthermore, keeping fire-making skills, a vital survival technique, have fascinated humans for centuries, serving as a symbol of warmth, safety, and nourishment. The ability to create fire, whether for cooking, heating, or signaling for help, is a fundamental skill that has shaped human civilization. Historically, fire was discovered through natural occurrences, such as lightning strikes, but early humans soon learned to harness it, using methods that varied across cultures and environments. Today, we can appreciate both the science and art behind fire making, which involves understanding various materials and techniques. One of the oldest methods of making fire is the friction technique, which involves rubbing two pieces of wood together to create heat through friction, eventually igniting a small ember. This method requires patience and practice, as the right kind of wood, often dry and soft, is essential for success. Another popular technique is the fire drill, where a spindle is rotated against a fireboard, generating enough heat to produce a spark. This ancient skill, while challenging, can be incredibly rewarding when mastered. Another common method is the striking of flint against steel, a technique that produces sparks when the two materials collide. This method became popular with the advent of modern fire-starting kits, which often include ferrocerium rods and various tinder materials, making fire starting more accessible than ever before. Using tinder, which can be anything from dry grass to specially designed fire-starting tablets, is crucial, as it helps catch the spark and sustain the flame. In addition to traditional methods, there are modern approaches that utilize materials like magnesium, which ignites easily when struck with a blade. Fire pistons, a more advanced device, rely on rapid compression of air to ignite tinder, demonstrating the fascinating interplay between physics and firemaking. Each technique offers unique advantages and challenges, allowing enthusiasts to explore and develop their skills in different ways. Moreover, understanding the chemistry of fire is equally essential. Fire requires three elements. When these elements combine, a chemical reaction occurs, producing flame. In survival situations, knowing how to manage these elements can make the difference between warmth and danger. For instance, arranging wood in a teepee or log cabin formation optimizes air circulation, allowing the fire to burn more efficiently. Learning firemaking skills is not just about survival. It's also a way to connect with nature and appreciate the environment. Practicing these skills encourages mindfulness and patience, as well as an understanding of the materials. Navigation without instruments is a fascinating topic that highlights the incredible skills humans have developed over centuries, relying solely on natural cues and environmental indicators. Before the invention of sophisticated tools and technologies, sailors and explorers depended on their keen observations of the world around them, using the sun, stars, and even the ocean itself to guide their journeys. One of the most well-known methods is celestial navigation, where navigators would use the position of celestial bodies, like the sun during the day and stars at night, to determine their latitude. For example, when at sea, a navigator could look at the North Star, which remains relatively fixed in the sky, to find true north, allowing them to chart their course more accurately. Another intriguing aspect of navigation without instruments is the use of natural landmarks, especially along coastlines or near significant geographic features. Mariners would memorize these landmarks, which acted as visual guides, helping them navigate safely from one point to another. Furthermore, experienced navigators often paid close attention to ocean currents, wind patterns, and even the behavior of seabirds. For instance, certain bird species are known to fly out to sea in the morning and return to land in the evening, indicating proximity to land, while the direction of ocean currents can reveal important information about the surrounding geography. In addition to celestial navigation and natural landmarks, indigenous cultures around the world have developed their unique systems of navigation that rely on deep knowledge of their environment. For example, the Polynesians are famous for their wayfinding skills, using an extensive understanding of wave patterns, the flight of birds, and the position of stars to navigate vast distances across the Pacific Ocean. They would also use the color of the water, which can indicate the presence of reefs or shallow areas, and would rely on their intimate knowledge of the ocean's behavior, passed down through generations. Even on land, people have navigated without instruments for centuries, employing techniques like dead reckoning, which involves estimating one's current position based on a previously determined location, taking into account factors like speed and direction of travel. Travelers would use their surroundings, such as distinctive hills or rivers, as reference points, allowing them to find their way through unfamiliar terrains. Similarly, in deserts, nomadic tribes have relied on the sun's position during the day and the stars at night to guide their paths across vast stretches of sand. In modern times, while technology has largely replaced these traditional methods, there is a growing interest in learning and preserving these ancient navigation techniques. Survival courses. When it comes to first aid in remote areas, it's crucial to understand that being far from immediate medical help requires a unique set of skills and knowledge, as well as an ability to improvise with limited resources. In isolated locations, like mountains, forests, or even during long expeditions, accidents can happen, and having a well-thought-out first aid plan can mean the difference between life and death. First, it's essential to carry a well-stocked first aid kit, which should include not just the basics like band-aids, antiseptics, and gauze, but also items that are particularly useful in remote settings, such as splints for fractures, snake bite kits if in a region where snakes are prevalent, and even a thermal blanket to help prevent hypothermia. Moreover, Knowledge of basic first aid techniques is vital, and this includes understanding how to assess a situation, performing CPR, and managing wounds. In a remote area, you may have to rely on your skills to stabilize an injured person until help can arrive, or until you can safely evacuate them. It's important to remember that certain conditions, like altitude sickness, can occur in mountainous areas, and recognizing the symptoms early can help prevent more serious complications. Familiarity with the environment is also crucial. Knowing how to navigate and communicate effectively with emergency services using maps or GPS devices can be life-saving. Additionally, learning about common hazards in the area, like wildlife encounters or extreme weather conditions, can prepare you for potential emergencies. For instance, if someone is bitten by a wild animal, understanding how to clean the wound properly and when to seek further medical assistance is key. Also, having a reliable means of communication, such as a satellite phone or a two-way radio, can provide peace of mind, allowing you to reach out for help when needed. Furthermore, it's beneficial to develop a basic understanding of the human body and its responses to injuries. For example, knowing how to recognize shock is important, as it can occur due to severe blood loss or trauma, and timely intervention can save a life. In a remote setting, improvisation becomes essential, whether it's using a piece of clothing as a tourniquet or finding ways to keep a person warm during a cold night. Moreover, it's not just the physical injuries that need attention. Mental health can also take a hit in stressful situations. Learning to provide reassurance and maintaining a calm demeanor can help stabilize an injured person. Hypothermia, which occurs when the body loses heat faster than it can produce it, can be life-threatening, especially in cold environments, so understanding how to prevent it is crucial. One of the most effective ways to prevent hypothermia is to dress in layers, as this allows you to trap heat while also enabling moisture to escape, keeping your body warm and dry. The base layer, which is closest to your skin, should be made of materials like wool or synthetic fibers, as these wick moisture away from your body, while the middle layer provides insulation, often made of fleece or down, and the outer layer should be waterproof and windproof to shield you from the elements. Moreover, paying attention to extremities is essential, as fingers, toes, ears, and noses are particularly vulnerable to heat loss, so wearing hats, gloves, and warm socks can make a significant difference. It's also important to stay dry, as wet clothing can rapidly decrease body temperature. If you get wet from sweat, rain, or snow, it's wise to change into dry clothes as soon as possible. Additionally, staying active can help maintain body heat. So, if you're outdoors in cold weather, moving around can generate warmth, but be careful not to overexert yourself, as that could lead to sweating, which can increase the risk of hypothermia. Keeping hydrated is another critical factor, as dehydration can make it harder for your body to regulate temperature. So drink water regularly, even if you don't feel thirsty. It's also important to be mindful of the wind chill factor. Even a slightly chilly day can feel significantly colder when the wind is strong. So knowing the weather conditions before heading out can help you dress appropriately. Moreover, if you're planning to spend extended time outside, inform someone about your whereabouts and expected return time, as this ensures that someone is aware of your situation in case of an emergency. In addition, it's helpful to know the signs of hypothermia, which include shivering, confusion, drowsiness, and slurred speech. Recognizing these symptoms early can prompt quick action to warm up and seek help. Lastly, it's advisable to avoid alcohol, as it can impair your ability to recognize the cold and lower your body's ability to retain heat. So staying sober while in cold environments is a wise choice. By implementing these strategies, you can significantly reduce the risk of hypothermia and enjoy your time outdoors in colder conditions safely. Heat exhaustion is a serious condition that occurs when the body overheats, often due to prolonged exposure to high temperatures, especially when combined with high humidity and strenuous activity. The symptoms can include heavy sweating, weakness, dizziness, nausea, and headache, which can quickly escalate if not managed properly. To effectively manage heat exhaustion, it's essential to act swiftly. First, move the affected person to a cooler, shaded area or an air-conditioned space, as this is crucial for bringing down the body temperature. Next, encourage the person to lie down and elevate their legs, which can help improve blood flow and reduce the risk of fainting. Hydration is key, so providing cool water or electrolyte drinks can help replenish fluids lost through sweating. It's important to avoid drinks with caffeine or alcohol, as these can worsen dehydration. Applying cool, wet cloths to the skin or taking a cool shower can also help lower the body temperature. If symptoms do not improve within an hour, or if the person shows signs of heat stroke, such as confusion, seizures, or loss of consciousness, seek emergency medical attention immediately, as heat stroke is life-threatening and requires prompt treatment. Understanding the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke is vital. While heat exhaustion can often be treated effectively at home with the right measures, heat stroke is a medical emergency that can cause severe damage to the body if not addressed quickly. Always be aware of the factors that contribute to heat exhaustion, including excessive heat, high humidity, strenuous exercise, and not drinking enough fluids. Prevention is paramount, especially during hot weather. Wearing loose, light-colored clothing, taking breaks during strenuous activities, and staying hydrated can significantly lower the risk of heat-related illnesses. Education about recognizing the early signs of heat exhaustion can empower individuals to take action before the condition worsens, ensuring safety and well-being during the hottest months of the year. Altitude sickness, also known as acute mountain sickness, occurs when you ascend to high altitudes too quickly, where the air pressure is lower and there's less oxygen available, leading to a variety of symptoms. This condition typically affects people who travel to elevations above 2,500 meters, or about 8,200 feet, and it can be particularly dangerous for those who are not acclimatized. Symptoms can range from mild headaches, dizziness, and nausea, to more severe cases that may include shortness of breath, loss of coordination, and even life-threatening complications such as high-altitude pulmonary edema, or HAPE, and high-altitude cerebral edema, or HACE. Understanding these risks is crucial for anyone planning to hike, trek, or travel to mountainous regions, especially those who might be venturing to places like the Himalayas, Andes, or Rockies. To help prevent altitude sickness, it is recommended to ascend gradually, giving your body time to adjust to the reduced oxygen levels. It's advisable to spend a few days at an intermediate elevation before reaching your final destination, as this can significantly reduce the chances of experiencing symptoms. Hydration plays a vital role in acclimatization, so drinking plenty of fluids is essential, as dehydration can exacerbate the symptoms of altitude sickness. Additionally, consuming a high-carbohydrate diet can also be beneficial, as it provides the necessary energy for your body to adapt to the changing environment. Recognizing the early signs of altitude sickness is important, as immediate descent to a lower elevation is the most effective remedy if symptoms appear. While some people may not experience any problems at high altitudes, others may find themselves affected despite taking precautions. This unpredictability can lead to situations where individuals may push themselves too hard, thinking they are fine, only to suddenly find themselves struggling to breathe or feeling extremely fatigued. Therefore, it is wise to listen to your body, take breaks, and avoid overexertion when at high altitudes. Furthermore, there are medications available, such as acetazolamide, which can help speed up the acclimatization process and reduce the risk of altitude sickness. However, it is essential to consult with a healthcare professional before taking any medication, especially if you have underlying health conditions. Travelers should also be aware that certain individuals, such as those with pre-existing respiratory or cardiovascular conditions, may be at a higher risk for altitude sickness, making it even more crucial to plan and prepare adequately for high-altitude adventures. In When many people venture into nature, whether it's hiking, camping, or simply enjoying a day at the park, they often encounter wildlife. These encounters can be thrilling, but they also come with responsibilities and protocols to ensure both human safety and the well-being of the animals. It's crucial to understand how to behave when faced with wildlife, as different animals require different responses. For instance, if you come across a bear, experts recommend staying calm, speaking softly, and backing away slowly without turning your back. Bears can be curious, and sudden movements can provoke them, so it's essential to avoid direct eye contact and to make your presence known in a non-threatening manner. On the other hand, if you encounter a snake, most snakes will try to avoid humans, but if you get too close, the best approach is often to stand still, allowing the snake to move away. If you happen upon a moose, it's important to give them plenty of space, as they can be unpredictable, especially if they feel threatened or if they have calves nearby. The general rule of thumb is to maintain a safe distance, typically at least 100 yards from large animals, and even more for dangerous wildlife. In addition to knowing how to react to specific animals, it's equally important to understand how to prevent negative encounters in the first place. This includes making noise while hiking to alert animals of your presence, so they can choose to avoid you, as well as properly storing food when camping, to avoid attracting unwanted visitors like raccoons or bears. It's also advisable to stay on marked trails, as wandering off can lead to unexpected wildlife encounters, which can be hazardous. If you find yourself in a situation where an animal is acting aggressively or appears to be a threat, it's vital to report this to park rangers or local authorities, who are trained to handle wildlife situations safely. Additionally, always carry bear spray in bear country, and know how to use it effectively, as it can be a lifesaver in emergencies. Another aspect of wildlife encounter protocols is understanding and respecting the animal's space and habitat. Many animals are protected by law, and disturbing their natural behavior can have long-lasting impacts on their populations. This means observing wildlife from a distance, using binoculars or a camera with a zoom lens, rather than trying to get close for a better look. It's also important not to feed wildlife, as this can alter their natural foraging behavior and lead to dependency. When someone finds themselves in a situation where they need rescue, knowing the best ways to signal for help can be crucial for survival. One of the most effective methods, especially in remote areas, is to create a large, visible signal on the ground, using materials like rocks, branches, or even clothing. This can take the form of an SOS signal, which is universally recognized, or simply a large help sign that stands out against the natural backdrop. Additionally, if you're in a wilderness setting, creating a fire can serve a dual purpose. It not only provides warmth but also produces smoke, which can be seen from great distances. Using 3 fires in a triangular pattern is a traditional signal for distress, as it draws attention to the fact that this is not a normal campfire. In situations where people are near water, making noise can also be a useful tactic. Shouting for help, using a whistle, or banging 2 objects together can carry over distances, especially in open spaces or canyons where sound can echo. For those who have access to technology, using a personal locator beacon (PLB) is an excellent way to signal for help. These devices send out a distress signal that can be picked up by satellites, alerting rescuers to your location, which can be a lifesaver in emergencies. Similarly, sending a text message or using a smartphone app with GPS capabilities can help pinpoint your location for help. If you're in an urban environment, waving brightly colored clothing or a reflective object can make you more visible. In crowded places, raising your arms above your head can signal distress and attract attention from passers-by. It's important to remain calm and use clear, deliberate actions to avoid confusion. In maritime situations, using flares or emergency signaling devices can alert nearby vessels to your predicament. Flares are highly visible and can be seen from miles away, making them an essential item for anyone venturing out on a boat. In addition, learning basic signaling techniques, like the use of mirror reflections to catch sunlight, can be incredibly effective during the day. The flash of light can grab the attention of anyone in the vicinity, even from a distance. It's also a good idea to familiarize yourself with local wildlife and their behavior. Some animals can be indicators of nearby human activity. If you can spot animals behaving unusually, it might be a sign that help is around. Knowing how to signal for rescue isn't just about the immediate action, it's also about preparation. When it comes to survival gear essentials, having the right tools and equipment can make a significant difference in emergency situations, whether you're exploring the wilderness, facing natural disasters, or simply preparing for unexpected events. A reliable survival kit should include a multi-tool, which combines various functions into one compact device, allowing you to cut, screw, pry, and even open bottles, making it incredibly versatile. Additionally, a good quality knife is essential, as it can be used for food preparation, shelter building, and self-defense in desperate scenarios. Fire starters, such as waterproof matches or a magnesium fire starter, are crucial for warmth, cooking, and signaling for help, as fire can be life-saving in many environments. Water purification methods, including filters or purification tablets, are vital, since finding clean drinking water is often a challenge in survival situations, and having a portable water bottle or hydration system is also important for staying hydrated. To keep warm and protected from the elements, a durable emergency blanket or a top can be invaluable, reflecting body heat and providing shelter from rain or snow. Lighting is another key component, with headlamps or flashlights providing visibility during nighttime or low-light conditions. First aid supplies, including bandages, antiseptic wipes, and pain relievers, should not be overlooked, as they can help treat minor injuries and prevent infections, which can be critical in survival scenarios. Another essential item is non-perishable food, such as energy bars or freeze-dried meals, which offer sustenance without the need for cooking. A whistle can be a simple yet effective signaling device, allowing you to attract attention without exhausting your voice, while a compact fishing kit or snares can help you catch food if necessary. Moreover, a map and compass are crucial for navigation, especially when electronic devices fail, and an emergency radio can provide vital updates on weather conditions and rescue operations. Lastly, sturdy footwear and weather-appropriate clothing can greatly enhance your comfort and mobility, as being well prepared for the climate you are in can help you manage the challenges you may face. These survival gear essentials, when assembled thoughtfully in a backpack or kit, can provide peace of mind and a greater chance of overcoming unforeseen challenges, ensuring that you are ready to tackle whatever comes your way, whether you're in the great outdoors or dealing with an emergency at home. Isolation can have profound psychological effects on individuals, affecting their mental and emotional well-being in various ways. When people experience prolonged periods of isolation, they often report feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. This can be especially true for those who are forced into isolation due to circumstances such as illness, natural disasters, or even social distancing measures during pandemics. The lack of social interaction can lead to a decline in cognitive function, as the brain thrives on social engagement and communication. Research has shown that isolation can disrupt normal brain function, leading to difficulties in concentration and memory. Furthermore, it can exacerbate existing mental health issues, pushing individuals towards more severe psychological distress. The effects of isolation are not just confined to emotional responses. They can also manifest physically. Individuals may experience changes in sleep patterns, increased levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, and even a weakened immune system. Prolonged isolation can lead to a phenomenon known as social withdrawal, where individuals become increasingly reluctant to engage with others, further entrenching their feelings of isolation. This cycle can be difficult to break, as the longer someone remains isolated, the more challenging it becomes to re-establish connections with others. Interestingly, some studies have indicated that isolation can also lead to increased creativity in certain individuals. the solitude may provide an opportunity for deep thinking and reflection, which can foster artistic expression or innovative problem-solving. However, this potential benefit is often overshadowed by the negative psychological impacts, particularly in those who are not naturally inclined towards introspection or creativity. Moreover, the experience of isolation can vary greatly depending on the individual's personality and life circumstances. For some, a short period of solitude may be refreshing and rejuvenating, allowing them to recharge and reflect. For others, especially those who thrive on social interactions, even brief isolation can lead to significant distress. The context of isolation is crucial. For instance, voluntary solitude, such as choosing to spend a weekend alone, often feels different compared to involuntary isolation, like being quarantined due to illness. In addition, the age of the individual can play a significant role in how isolation is perceived and experienced. Young people, who are often more socially active, may find isolation particularly difficult, as it disrupts their social development and can lead to feelings of being disconnected from peers. On the other hand, older adults may also suffer from isolation due to loss of loved ones or mobility issues, leading to feelings of helplessness and depression. Social media and technology can. Group dynamics play a crucial role in survival situations, as they can greatly influence the outcomes of emergencies, disasters, or any scenario where individuals must work together to overcome challenges. When people find themselves in a survival situation, such as being lost in the wilderness, facing a natural disaster, or experiencing a crisis, the way they interact with each other can determine their chances of survival. One key aspect of group dynamics is leadership. Effective leaders often emerge naturally in stressful situations, guiding the group and making critical decisions. Research shows that leaders who are calm, confident, and adaptable tend to inspire trust and cooperation among group members, which is vital when quick decisions must be made. In addition to leadership, communication is essential in these scenarios. Clear and open lines of communication help individuals share information, express concerns, and coordinate actions, which can significantly enhance the group's overall effectiveness. When people feel comfortable speaking up, they can contribute their ideas and solutions, fostering a collaborative environment. Conversely, poor communication can lead to misunderstandings, resulting in conflicts or ineffective responses to threats. It's interesting to note that nonverbal cues, such as body language, also play a significant role in group dynamics. For instance, maintaining eye contact can reinforce trust, while crossed arms might signal defensiveness. Another factor that impacts group dynamics in survival situations is the diversity of skills and backgrounds among group members. A team comprising individuals with varied experiences, such as medical knowledge, navigation skills, or survival training, can be more resourceful and innovative when faced with challenges. This diversity allows for a wider range of problem-solving approaches, enabling the group to adapt to new situations more effectively. However, it's important to manage potential conflicts that may arise from differences in opinion or approach. Groups that can navigate these differences constructively are often more successful in achieving their goals. Moreover, the psychological state of group members can significantly affect group dynamics. High stress levels can lead to panic or despair, which may hinder decision-making and problem-solving abilities. Conversely, individuals who are optimistic and maintain a positive outlook can help uplift the group's morale, encouraging others to remain focused and motivated. Studies have shown that groups with a positive emotional climate are more likely to work efficiently and collaboratively, even under extreme pressure. Another interesting aspect of group dynamics in survival situations is the concept of social identity. Individuals often derive a sense of belonging and purpose from their group, which can motivate them to cooperate and support one another. This feeling of kinship can be particularly powerful. Cultural adaptations to harsh climates are fascinating, as they showcase human ingenuity and resilience in the face of environmental challenges. Across the globe, Various communities have developed unique ways of life to thrive in extreme conditions, whether it be the frigid Arctic, the scorching deserts, or the humid rainforests. For instance, in the Arctic regions, the Inuit people have mastered the art of living in extreme cold, utilizing materials from their environment, such as animal skins and bones, to create insulated clothing and shelters, known as igloos, which are ingeniously designed to retain heat. Their diet, rich in marine mammals, provides necessary nutrients in a landscape where agriculture is nearly impossible, and their hunting practices reflect a deep understanding of the local ecosystem. Meanwhile, in the Sahara Desert, the Tuareg people have adapted to the heat by developing nomadic lifestyles, moving with the seasons to find water and grazing land for their camels, which are essential for transportation and trade. They wear light, flowing garments that protect them from the sun while allowing air to circulate, showcasing their understanding of how to stay cool in such an unforgiving environment. In contrast, the indigenous tribes of the Amazon rainforest, facing a humid and densely vegetated climate, have adapted by utilizing the rich biodiversity around them, creating intricate systems of agriculture, hunting, and fishing that are sustainable and harmonious with nature. Their knowledge of plant medicine and their ability to navigate the complex ecosystem demonstrate a profound connection to their environment. Cultural practices also evolve, such as the development of communal living arrangements, where resources are shared and knowledge is passed down through generations, ensuring that survival skills are maintained. In the high altitudes of the Andes, the Quechua people have ingeniously adapted their agricultural practices to the rugged terrain, using terracing techniques to farm on the steep hillsides, which conserves water and helps prevent soil erosion. Their traditional crops, such as potatoes and quinoa, are well suited to the harsh conditions, and their festivals often celebrate the changing seasons and agricultural cycles, reflecting their deep respect for the land. In each of these cases, cultural adaptations not only reflect the immediate needs for survival, but also embody a rich tapestry of traditions, beliefs, and practices that are passed down through generations, showing how deeply intertwined culture and environment are. As climate change continues to impact weather patterns and ecosystems, these adaptations may also evolve, leading to new cultural expressions and ways of life that respond to the ongoing challenges posed by harsh climates. Throughout history, there have been remarkable survival stories that capture the human spirit's resilience, showcasing how individuals faced overwhelming odds and emerged against all expectations. One such story is that of Alexander Selkirk, a Scottish sailor who was marooned on a deserted island in the South Pacific in 1704. Selkirk, who was not only resourceful but also incredibly determined, survived for 4 years by hunting goats, gathering food, and using his skills to create shelter from the elements. His tale inspired Daniel Defoe's famous novel, Robinson Crusoe, which has influenced countless stories of survival ever since. Another fascinating survival story is that of the Donner Party, a group of American pioneers who set out for California in 1846. Unfortunately, they became trapped by heavy snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains, leading to desperate measures for survival. As supplies dwindled, some members of the party resorted to cannibalism to stay alive, leading to a haunting chapter in American history that raises ethical questions about survival instinct. Despite the grim circumstances, a few members eventually made it to safety, and their harrowing experiences serve as a profound reminder of human endurance. Moving to a different part of the world, we have the story of the 33 Chilean miners who were trapped underground for 69 days in 2010. When a cave-in occurred in the San Jose copper gold mine, the miners faced an unimaginable situation, cut off from the surface. They managed to survive by rationing their limited food supplies and organizing themselves to maintain morale. After an extensive rescue operation, all 33 miners were finally brought to safety, marking a miraculous event that captivated the world and highlighted the power of teamwork and hope. In the realm of extreme weather, the story of a young girl named Julianne Kopka stands out. In 1971, a plane crash in the Peruvian rainforest left her as the sole survivor. With a broken collarbone and facing dangerous wildlife, she trekked through the jungle for days, relying on her instincts and survival skills learned from her biologist mother. Her incredible journey of survival not only demonstrates the strength of the human will, but also provides a unique perspective on the challenges of navigating through dense, uncharted territory. Survival stories can also be found in the realm of war, such as the tale of the Holocaust survivor, Viktor Frankl. Imprisoned in concentration camps during World War II, Frankl endured unimaginable suffering, but found meaning. Urban survival techniques are essential skills that can help individuals navigate challenging situations in a city environment, where resources may be limited and safety can be compromised. One important technique is situational awareness, which means being aware of your surroundings, noticing people's behaviors, and recognizing potential threats. This skill can help you avoid dangerous situations before they escalate. Another crucial aspect of urban survival is knowing how to find clean water, which can be a challenge in a city. In an emergency, you might need to look for water sources like public fountains or even rainwater, and purifying methods such as boiling water or using purification tablets can be lifesavers. Additionally, food scarcity might become an issue, so understanding urban foraging can be beneficial. Many cities have edible plants, such as wild garlic, dandelions, or even fruit-bearing trees, that can provide nutrition when grocery stores are not accessible. Learning which plants are safe to eat is vital, as some urban plants can be toxic. Furthermore, building a basic first aid kit is a key urban survival skill. It should include essentials like band-aids, antiseptics, and any personal medications, as access to medical facilities may be limited during emergencies. Another technique is to have a communication plan with friends and family, ensuring everyone knows how to reach each other in case of a disaster. This plan should include meeting points and contingency plans, as cell service can be unreliable when networks are overloaded. In addition, knowing how to navigate without a GPS is invaluable. Learning to read maps or even using landmarks can help you find your way in a crisis. If you find yourself in a situation where you need to shelter in place, understanding how to secure your home or temporary shelter is essential. This might involve barricading doors, using furniture to create safe zones, or finding ways to signal for help, such as using flashlights or creating visible signs. Having a basic understanding of self-defense can also boost your confidence and safety. Simple techniques can help you escape from uncomfortable situations or defend yourself if necessary. Lastly, it's important to develop a mindset that is adaptable and resilient. Urban survival is not just about physical skills, it's also about mental strength and the ability to think clearly under pressure. Cultivating a positive attitude, staying calm, and being resourceful can make a significant difference in how effectively you can respond to unexpected challenges in an urban environment. By honing these techniques, city dwellers can feel more prepared and capable of. When it comes to desert survival tactics, understanding the unique challenges posed by these arid environments is crucial. Deserts, characterized by their extreme temperatures, both scorching hot during the day and often freezing at night, require specific strategies for survival. One of the first things to remember is to conserve water, which is your most critical resource. In such dry conditions, the body can lose water rapidly, so rationing your fluids is essential. It's advised to drink small sips throughout the day, rather than gulping down large amounts at once, as this can help your body retain hydration more effectively. In addition to managing your water consumption, finding shade during the hottest parts of the day, typically between noon and 3 p.m., can prevent heat exhaustion. Utilizing natural formations, like rocks or trees, or even creating a shelter with available materials, can provide relief from the sun. Moreover, knowing how to navigate the terrain is vital. A common tactic is to travel during the cooler parts of the day, such as early morning or later in the evening, to avoid the harsh midday heat. Keeping an eye on the stars or using specific landmarks can help maintain your direction. especially when familiar trail markers are absent. It's also important to be aware of desert wildlife. While many animals are nocturnal and tend to avoid humans, some can pose dangers. For instance, snakes may be hiding in crevices or under rocks, so always be cautious when moving through such areas. In terms of food, the desert may seem barren, but some plants and animals can offer sustenance. Cacti, such as the prickly pear, can provide both water and nourishment, while insects, though not appetizing to many, are a good source of protein. Learning to identify edible plants and understanding which ones are safe to consume can be life-saving knowledge. Moreover, creating a way to collect dew in the early morning can also aid in hydration. As temperatures drop at night, moisture can condense on surfaces, offering a small, yet valuable, water source. Firemaking is another essential skill, as it can provide warmth, signal for help, and even cook food. Desert nights can be cold, so building a fire using dry twigs and other available materials can help maintain body heat. However, be mindful of local regulations regarding open flames, as some areas may have restrictions to prevent wildfires. Ultimately, while desert survival can be challenging, being prepared, staying informed, and using the resources available can significantly improve your chances in the harsh and unforgiving environment of the Arctic. Survival requires a unique set of skills, knowledge, and strategies, as the extreme cold, unpredictable weather, and scarcity of resources pose significant challenges to anyone who ventures into this icy wilderness. One of the most crucial survival strategies is understanding how to stay warm, as exposure to freezing temperatures can quickly lead to hypothermia. This involves wearing multiple layers of clothing, particularly made from materials like wool or specialized synthetic fabrics, which trap heat while allowing moisture to escape. The outer layer should be windproof and waterproof, protecting against biting winds and snowfall. Additionally, using insulated footwear, gloves, and face masks can help shield the extremities, which are especially vulnerable to frostbite. Another essential aspect of Arctic survival is finding food, as the availability of resources is limited during the long, harsh winters. Traditional Inuit techniques, such as hunting seals, whales, and polar bears, have been practiced for centuries, providing vital nutrients and energy. However, for those in modern contexts, understanding how to fish through ice or identify edible plants like Arctic berries during the brief summer months can be life-saving. Moreover, collecting fresh snow for drinking water is a common practice, as melting snow can provide hydration, though it's crucial to never eat snow directly, as it can lower body temperature. Shelter is another key component of survival in the Arctic, where building a sturdy igloo or finding natural windbreaks can protect against the elements. An igloo, ingeniously constructed from blocks of compressed snow, can provide insulation and warmth, as the interior temperature can be significantly higher than the outside, even in freezing conditions. For those caught outdoors without a proper shelter, employing snow caves or using tarps and sleeping bags can offer temporary refuge. But it's important to insulate the ground to avoid losing body heat. Navigation in the Arctic can be particularly tricky, especially in the featureless expanse of snow and ice. Familiarity with the sun's position and using basic compass skills are vital, but many also rely on natural landmarks and the stars for guidance. It can be beneficial to always have a map and a reliable GPS device, but understanding traditional navigation methods can sometimes be the only way to find your way back when technology fails. Finally, mental resilience is an often overlooked aspect of survival. The isolation, extreme cold, and perpetual darkness during winter can take a toll on one's mental state. Therefore, having strategies for staying positive, such as setting small goals, jungle survival skills, are essential for anyone who finds themselves lost or stranded in a dense, tropical environment, where the lush greenery can be both a blessing and a challenge. One of the first skills to master is finding safe drinking water, which is crucial for survival. In many jungles, You can collect rainwater using leaves or by digging small holes in the ground, where water might accumulate. If you can find a moving stream, it often indicates a cleaner water source. But always remember to filter or purify your water, as even clear water can harbor harmful pathogens. Next, building a shelter is vital, as it protects you from the elements and helps keep you dry. Look for natural resources like large leaves, branches, and vines to create a structure, ideally positioned away from potential hazards like falling branches or flooding. Constructing a raised platform can keep you safe from insects and animals that roam the jungle floor. When it comes to food, foraging is a fundamental skill. Many fruits, nuts, and edible plants can be found in the jungle, but it's important to learn which are safe to eat. The rule of thumb is to avoid anything brightly colored, as this often indicates toxicity. In addition to foraging, trapping small game can provide a source of protein. Simple snares can be made from vines or wire, and placing them along animal trails increases your chances of a catch. Fire is another key survival skill, not just for warmth, but also for cooking and signaling for help. Gathering dry leaves, twigs, and bark can help you start a fire, and using a method like the bow drill can be effective if you don't have matches or a lighter. Navigating through the jungle can be daunting, but understanding the environment can help. Familiar landmarks, the position of the sun, and the direction of flowing water can guide you. Learning to read animal tracks and signs can also indicate the presence of food or fresh water sources, which is incredibly useful. Finally, maintaining a positive mindset is crucial in survival situations. The jungle can be overwhelming, but staying calm and focused on your basic needs will increase your chances of survival. Building a network for communication and signaling for rescue, whether it's through smoke signals, reflective surfaces, or even sound, can be life-saving. The skills you develop in the jungle not only help you survive, but they also teach resilience, adaptability, and a deeper respect for nature's bounty and challenges. When it comes to ocean survival practices, knowing how to stay alive in the vast, unpredictable waters can make all the difference. Imagine you find yourself stranded in the ocean, whether due to a boating accident, a plane crash, or getting lost while swimming. The first thing you need to do is stay calm. Panic can cloud your judgment and lead to poor decision-making. It's essential to assess your situation, check for injuries, and, if possible, secure any floating debris or life jackets that might help keep you afloat. One of the most critical survival practices is to signal for help. If you have a whistle, mirror, or even bright clothing, use these tools to attract attention. The sun reflects off shiny surfaces, making them visible from a distance, while sounds can carry over water. If you happen to have a cell phone or any electronic device, using it to call for help is vital. But remember, the battery life can drain quickly, so use it wisely. Finding fresh water is another immediate concern, as drinking salt water can lead to dehydration, which is counterproductive. If you have access to a container, collecting rainwater is one way to secure drinking water. You can also try to capture moisture from the air using cloth or other materials, as the ocean often has humidity that can be harvested. Additionally, if you have any food supplies, ration them wisely. While it might be tempting to eat everything at once, you need to make your supplies last as long as possible. Creating a shelter is also important, especially if you are exposed to the sun for long periods. Using anything available to you, like pieces of a life raft or clothing, can provide some shade and protection. If you're in a raft, it's crucial to stay with it, as it provides buoyancy and is easier to spot from the air. If you're in the water, try to float on your back, which can conserve energy and keep you more stable. In terms of navigation, if you have a compass or a way to tell direction, use it to orient yourself. Generally, if you know the direction of land, you can try to swim towards it, but be mindful of your energy levels, as swimming long distances can be exhausting. If you can see land but it seems far away, consider staying put and conserving energy, as rescuers may be searching for you. Another survival practice is to watch for ships or planes as they may pass by, and waving your arms or using reflective. Surviving in extreme cold is a fascinating topic, as it reveals not only the resilience of the human spirit, but also the incredible adaptations that can be made to endure harsh conditions. When temperatures plunge, as they can in places like Antarctica or Siberia, the body faces significant challenges. One of the first things to understand is how the human body reacts to cold. When exposed to frigid temperatures, the body begins to lose heat faster than it can produce it, which can lead to hypothermia, a dangerous drop in body temperature. This is why staying dry is crucial. Wet clothing can exacerbate heat loss, so wearing layers of moisture-wicking, insulating materials is essential. In extreme cold, survival skills become paramount. Building a shelter is often the first priority. An effective shelter can be made from snow, which can insulate against the wind and retain warmth. For instance, snow caves or igloos can be constructed in snowy environments, providing protection from the elements. When constructing such shelters, it's vital to ensure there's proper ventilation to prevent the buildup of carbon dioxide from body heat. Additionally, finding food sources can be a challenge, yet many animals adapt to cold climates, and learning to identify edible plants and catch fish or game can provide necessary nutrition. Another critical aspect of surviving in cold conditions is maintaining body heat. This can involve various techniques, such as using body heat to warm up sleeping bags, or having a fire when possible. Building a fire requires knowledge of how to find dry wood, even in snowy areas, and the ability to create a spark in adverse conditions. Also, staying active can help generate body heat, but one must balance activity with rest to avoid exhaustion. Interestingly, some indigenous cultures have developed unique techniques to thrive in extreme cold. The Inuit, for example, have a rich tradition of building specialized gear and shelters, which reflects their deep understanding of the environment. They use animal skins for clothing, which provide excellent insulation, and their diet often includes high-fat content foods, which are vital for energy in cold climates. Moreover, there's a psychological aspect to surviving in extreme cold. Maintaining a positive mindset can be as crucial as physical survival skills. People often face isolation and the mental toll of the harsh environment. So finding ways to cope, such as setting small goals or focusing on survival tasks, can significantly improve one's chances of enduring tough conditions. Lastly, technology plays a significant role in modern cold survival. High-tech survival in extreme heat presents a unique set of challenges, as the body's ability to cope with high temperatures can be severely tested, leading to heat-related illnesses such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. When the temperature rises, the body tries to cool itself through sweating, but when humidity is high, this process becomes less effective, making it crucial to understand how to manage heat exposure. Staying hydrated is paramount. It's recommended to drink plenty of water, even if you don't feel thirsty, as dehydration can sneak up on you, diminishing your body's ability to cool down. Additionally, wearing loose-fitting, light-colored clothing can help reflect sunlight and allow sweat to evaporate, aiding in cooling. Finding shade is also essential when the sun is at its peak, as this can significantly reduce the risk of overheating. If you must be outdoors, planning activities for the cooler parts of the day, like early morning or late evening, can help mitigate the risks associated with extreme heat. It's also beneficial to know the signs of heat-related illnesses. Symptoms like dizziness, rapid heartbeat, or headache can indicate that your body is struggling to cope with the heat. Acclimatization is another important factor, as people who live in hotter climates often develop a tolerance over time, allowing them to handle higher temperatures better than those who are not used to such conditions. In extreme cases, it's vital to have a plan in place for cooling down, such as access to air conditioning or fans, and knowing where to find cool water sources. Interestingly, certain foods can help you stay cool, as consuming smaller, lighter meals can reduce your body's heat production compared to heavy, hearty meals. Foods with high water content, like fruits and vegetables, are excellent choices. Furthermore, there's a growing body of research into how our bodies can adapt to extreme heat over time, suggesting that regular exposure to high temperatures might enhance our physiological responses, leading to improved heat tolerance. In some cultures, traditional practices for coping with heat have been developed, such as taking siestas during the hottest part of the day, allowing people to rest and conserve energy. Understanding the local climate and adapting to it can be key to thriving in extreme heat, as can being aware of the most effective cooling methods, which may include using wet cloths or taking cool showers. Also, using fans strategically can create a wind chill effect, making you feel cooler even in hot conditions. Technology is also stepping in. With innovations, risk assessment in survival scenarios is a crucial process that involves identifying, analyzing, and evaluating potential risks that one might face in extreme situations, such as natural disasters, wilderness survival, or even urban emergencies. When people find themselves in survival situations, the ability to assess risk can significantly impact their chances of survival. First, it's important to recognize the environment and the specific challenges it presents. For instance, if someone is lost in the wilderness, they need to evaluate factors such as weather conditions, available resources, and potential threats from wildlife. Understanding these elements helps in prioritizing actions that can lead to safety. One key aspect of risk assessment is recognizing immediate dangers, like unstable terrains or approaching storms. In such cases, individuals must quickly decide whether to seek shelter, build a fire, or navigate towards a safer location. Additionally, it's essential to consider personal health, as injuries or illnesses can escalate risks. A sprained ankle, for example, could severely limit mobility in a survival situation, making it vital to assess one's physical condition and adjust plans accordingly. Moreover, assessing risks also involves looking into the availability of resources, such as food, water, and tools. In survival scenarios, one must evaluate how long they can go without these essentials and what methods they can use to procure or ration them. This involves not just recognizing what is around, but also understanding how to use those resources wisely. For instance, knowing how to purify water from a stream or identify edible plants can decrease the risk of dehydration or malnutrition. Another layer to consider is the psychological aspect of survival. Stress, fear, and panic can cloud judgment, leading to poor decision-making, which increases risk. Therefore, part of risk assessment in these scenarios is also managing one's mental state. Staying calm, focused, and rational can make a significant difference in how one perceives and reacts to the risks at hand. Additionally, communication plays a vital role in risk assessment. In group survival situations, sharing information and collectively evaluating risks can lead to better decisions. For example, if one person spots a potential danger, like a flash flood warning, communicating this to the group can prompt immediate action and increase the chances of survival for everyone involved. In urban survival scenarios, the risks can differ significantly. Here, people may have to consider factors like civil unrest, power outages, or food shortages. Assessing these risks requires knowledge of local conditions and resources, as well as the ability to remain aware of one's surroundings. For instance, survival situations often bring forth a host of ethical considerations, which can be complex and deeply challenging to navigate. Imagine you are stranded in a remote location with limited resources, and the instinct to survive kicks in. In such dire circumstances, people might face decisions that challenge their moral beliefs. For instance, one of the most pressing ethical dilemmas is the question of resource allocation. If you are with a group, how do you decide who gets the last remaining food or water? This situation can lead to intense debates, and sometimes even conflicts, as individuals weigh their own survival against the needs of others. Another significant ethical consideration is the concept of consent. particularly when it comes to sharing resources or making decisions on behalf of others. In survival scenarios, individuals may feel justified in taking charge. But what if someone disagrees? The right to autonomy becomes murky when survival is on the line, as the urgency of the situation can overshadow the importance of individual rights. Additionally, the survival of one person over another can lead to moral questions about who is more deserving of survival based on various factors, such as age, health, or perceived value to the group. Moreover, the question of using extreme measures to survive arises in these situations. People may contemplate acts that they would never consider under normal circumstances, such as stealing food from another group, or even resorting to violence if they feel threatened. This raises profound moral questions about the nature of humanity, as survival instincts can push people to abandon their ethical frameworks. The psychological toll of these decisions can be immense, leaving individuals to grapple with guilt, shame, and the repercussions of their actions long after the immediate crisis has passed. Additionally, ethical considerations extend beyond immediate survival tactics. There's also the impact of survival on future interactions and relationships. For example, if a group of survivors makes a decision that harms another group, such as hoarding resources, it can create long-lasting animosities. This can affect how communities rebuild and cooperate after the crisis has ended. Trust is a crucial element in any group dynamic, and ethical breaches can erode this foundation, making future cooperation more difficult. In the midst of survival, the idea of community versus individualism also comes into play. Some may argue that looking out for oneself is the priority, while others may advocate for collective action. Striking a balance between personal survival and the welfare of the group can lead to ethical tensions that force individuals to reassess their values and priorities. In some cases, in today's world, the use of technology in survival situations is becoming increasingly important, as advancements in various fields are equipping individuals with tools and resources that can significantly enhance their chances of staying safe and thriving in challenging environments. For example, GPS devices and smartphone applications allow for precise navigation, which is crucial when one is lost in the wilderness, as they can pinpoint exact locations and help individuals find their way back to safety without the need for traditional maps that can be easily lost or damaged. Furthermore, portable solar chargers are revolutionizing how people utilize technology in outdoor settings, ensuring that devices such as smartphones, GPS units, and even small appliances can remain operational, providing not only communication capabilities, but also access to emergency services or important information when required. In addition to navigation, technology has also transformed the way people gather and purify water, which is a fundamental survival skill. Innovative water filtration systems, such as portable filters that can remove harmful bacteria and viruses, are lightweight and easy to carry, making them ideal for hikers, campers, or anyone venturing into nature. Moreover, UV light water purifiers have gained popularity, as they can eliminate pathogens quickly and effectively, providing safe drinking water without the need for boiling, which can be time-consuming and fuel-intensive. Another remarkable aspect of technology in survival is the development of smart clothing and gear, which incorporates temperature regulation and moisture-wicking properties, keeping individuals comfortable in extreme conditions. For example, jackets with built-in heating elements can help maintain body warmth in cold climates, while fabrics that dry quickly can be lifesavers in wet environments. Furthermore, wearable devices, such as smartwatches, are now equipped with health monitoring features, allowing users to track their heart rate, oxygen levels, and even their location, which can be vital during emergencies. Communication has also seen a huge improvement thanks to technology, as satellite phones and emergency beacons provide reliable means of contacting help when traditional cellular networks are unavailable. These devices can transmit distress signals to rescue teams, potentially making the difference between life and death in critical situations. Additionally, there are now apps specifically designed for survival scenarios, offering tips, tutorials, and checklists to help individuals prepare for emergencies, covering everything from first aid to foraging for food. One fascinating development in the survival tech realm is the rise of drones, which can be used for reconnaissance and to deliver supplies in hard-to-reach areas. In search and rescue operations, drones can cover large areas quickly. Equipped with cameras and sensors, long-term survival planning is a crucial aspect of ensuring that individuals, families, and communities are prepared for unforeseen events, disasters, or even changes in the environment that could disrupt daily life. This kind of planning involves a multifaceted approach that considers various scenarios, such as natural disasters, economic downturns, or even societal changes, which can impact access to essential resources. One of the first steps in long-term survival planning is to assess the specific risks associated with your location. For example, if you live in an area prone to earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes, it's vital to develop a plan that addresses these specific threats. A comprehensive survival plan should include a well-stocked supply of food, water, and medical necessities, as well as tools for shelter and warmth. It is also essential to consider the nutritional needs of your family, making sure to include a variety of food types, such as canned goods, dried fruits, and grains, which have a longer shelf life. Water storage is another critical component, as having enough clean drinking water can make the difference between life and death in an emergency situation. Beyond physical supplies, long-term survival planning should also encompass skills development. Learning how to grow your own food, for instance, can greatly enhance your self-sufficiency. Gardening not only provides fresh produce, but also helps you understand the cycles of nature, which can be invaluable in a survival scenario. Additionally, first aid training is important, as being able to treat injuries or illnesses can greatly increase your chances of survival, especially when professional medical help may not be immediately available. Another crucial aspect of survival planning is community preparedness, as having a support network can make a significant difference during challenging times. Building relationships with neighbors and participating in local preparedness groups can enhance your collective ability to respond to emergencies. Sharing resources, skills, and knowledge within a community can create a stronger foundation for survival than any individual effort alone. Financial preparedness also plays a vital role in long-term survival planning. Setting aside savings or investing in commodities can provide a safety net during economic instability. This could mean diversifying your investments or acquiring tangible assets that maintain value over time. Additionally, having a plan for bartering or trade can be useful in scenarios where currency may lose its value. Mental preparedness should not be overlooked either. Stressful situations can lead to panic, so developing coping strategies, such as mindfulness practices or emergency drills, can help keep you calm when faced with adversity. Understanding how to manage fear. Climate change, a pressing global issue, has far-reaching effects on the survival of various species, ecosystems, and even human populations. As temperatures continue to rise, habitats are altered, leading to shifts in where plants and animals can live. For instance, many species, particularly those in sensitive environments like polar regions or coral reefs, are struggling to adapt to the rapid changes in their surroundings. The melting of ice in the Arctic not only affects polar bears and seals, but it also disrupts entire ecosystems that rely on the stability of ice-covered regions. As sea levels rise, coastal habitats are submerged, threatening the survival of species that depend on these areas for breeding and feeding. Terrestrial ecosystems are not spared either. Forests are experiencing changes in species composition, as some trees cannot survive the increased temperatures or changes in precipitation patterns, leading to a decline in biodiversity. In addition to affecting wildlife, climate change also poses significant risks to agriculture, which is vital for human survival. Shifting weather patterns can lead to droughts in some areas, while others may face excessive rainfall and flooding. These extremes can reduce crop yields, making it harder for farmers to grow food, which in turn affects food security for communities worldwide. The impact is felt most acutely in developing regions, where resources are limited and adaptation strategies are often lacking. Moreover, as certain species decline or become extinct, the loss of biodiversity can lead to a breakdown in ecosystem services, such as pollination and water purification, which are essential for human survival. Beyond the immediate effects on wildlife and agriculture, climate change also has broader implications for human health. Increasing temperatures can lead to the spread of diseases, as warmer conditions create a more suitable environment for disease-carrying insects like mosquitoes. This can result in a rise in diseases such as malaria and dengue fever, particularly in regions that previously had milder climates. Additionally, extreme weather events, such as hurricanes and heat waves, pose direct threats to human life, leading to injuries and fatalities, as well as long-term mental health impacts for those affected. The interconnectedness of climate systems means that changes in one area can have cascading effects elsewhere. For instance, as glaciers melt, freshwater supplies may initially increase in some regions, but over time, those supplies may dwindle, leading to water scarcity. This can create conflict over resources, threatening the survival of communities that depend on these water sources for drinking, agriculture, and industry. The social implications are profound. As vulnerable populations may be forced to migrate, intuition plays a fascinating role in survival, acting as an internal compass that can guide individuals in high-stress situations. It often manifests as a gut feeling, a sudden insight, or an instinctive reaction, which can be crucial when time is of the essence, and decisions must be made quickly. Research suggests that intuition is rooted in our brain's ability to process vast amounts of information rapidly, drawing on past experiences, patterns, and emotional responses, allowing us to make split-second judgments without overthinking. For instance, in the wilderness, a hiker might suddenly feel that something is amiss, prompting them to change direction or avoid a particular area, possibly steering clear of danger, such as a hidden predator or a treacherous path. Furthermore, studies in psychology indicate that intuition can be especially heightened in situations where individuals are familiar with their environment, as their subconscious mind recalls previous encounters and outcomes. This can be seen in survival scenarios, where a seasoned fisherman, for example, might sense an approaching storm based not solely on visible cues, but also on a deep-seated understanding of nature's rhythms. Similarly, in emergency situations, such as a fire or a natural disaster, individuals often report having a strong feeling that tells them to evacuate or take cover, even before they fully comprehend the danger. Moreover, intuition can be intertwined with emotional intelligence, as being in tune with one's own feelings and the emotions of others can enhance survival chances in social or communal settings. In a group scenario, someone might intuitively sense tension among members, leading to an early intervention that prevents conflict and fosters cooperation, which is essential for group survival. This interplay between intuition and emotional awareness can create a dynamic where individuals not only rely on their instincts, but also read the room effectively. It's also important to note that while intuition can be a powerful tool, it's not infallible. In high-pressure situations, stress can cloud judgment, leading to misinterpretations of one's gut feelings. Therefore, it's essential to balance intuition with rational thinking, especially in complex survival scenarios that require both instinct and strategy. In essence, the role of intuition in survival is a blend of instinct, experience, and emotional acuity, enabling individuals to navigate challenges effectively and make decisions that can mean the difference between life and death. Survival myths and misconceptions are widespread, often leading people to believe that certain skills, tools, or knowledge are essential for surviving in the wild, when, in reality, the truth can be quite different. For example, many people think that drinking water from a river or lake is perfectly safe, but this is a dangerous misconception. Water from natural sources can contain harmful bacteria, parasites, and pollutants, making it crucial to purify it before consuming. Boiling, filtering, or using purification tablets are effective methods to ensure that water is safe to drink. Another popular myth is that you can survive for days without food. While the truth is that, in extreme situations, the human body can endure for a few weeks without food, yet, the lack of nutrients can lead to severe physical and mental decline much sooner. It's important to prioritize finding food when stranded, even if the immediate need is water. Many believe that you should always build a shelter first when lost in the wilderness. However, the reality is that the immediate environment, such as weather conditions and visibility, should dictate your first actions. If it's cold, finding warmth is more important than building a shelter. And if it's hot, seeking shade might be the priority. Another misconception is that certain wild plants are universally safe to eat, but this is misleading. While some plants are edible, many can cause severe illness or even death, and distinguishing between them requires knowledge and experience. It's also commonly thought that you should wait for rescue if you're lost, but often, moving towards known landmarks or following water sources can increase your chances of being found or finding your way back. Another myth is that a compass will always point you in the right direction, but this can be misleading, as magnetic interference from certain minerals or nearby electronics can cause inaccurate readings. Similarly, many people think that a survival knife is the most essential tool, but in reality, a multi-tool or a good quality knife, along with knowledge of how to use it, can provide more versatility and a greater chance of survival. The idea that you should drink alcohol for warmth is also dangerous. Alcohol actually lowers your body temperature and impairs your judgment, which can be detrimental in a survival situation. The belief that you can always make a fire using friction is another myth. While it's possible, it requires skill, patience, and the right materials, which may not always be available. Instead, knowing how to use a lighter or waterproof matches can. Training for extreme environments, such as the Arctic, deserts, or high-altitude areas, requires specialized preparation and techniques, as these locations present unique challenges that can be life-threatening if not approached correctly. In the Arctic, for instance, individuals must acclimate to extreme cold, which can drop to dangerous levels. This means learning how to layer clothing effectively, understanding the importance of staying dry, and recognizing the signs of frostbite and hypothermia, which can occur more quickly than one might expect. On the other hand, training in deserts focuses on managing heat, hydration, and sun exposure. It is crucial to understand how to regulate body temperature, as heat-related illnesses can develop rapidly in such environments. This often involves practicing proper hydration techniques, such as drinking water at regular intervals, even if one does not feel thirsty, to prevent dehydration. High-altitude training presents its own set of challenges, as the reduced oxygen levels can lead to altitude sickness if one ascends too quickly. To combat this, individuals often participate in a gradual acclimatization process, spending time at various elevations before reaching their final destination. This allows the body to adjust and increases the likelihood of a successful ascent without severe symptoms, such as headaches, nausea, or fatigue. Additionally, training for extreme environments often includes survival skills, such as building shelters, finding food, and navigating without modern technology, which can be invaluable in a crisis. Teamwork is also essential, as having a reliable support system can make all the difference when facing harsh conditions. Moreover, psychological preparation plays a crucial role in training for extreme environments, as mental resilience can be just as important as physical readiness. Individuals are often taught techniques to manage stress and maintain focus, even in the face of adversity. These techniques might include mindfulness, visualization, and breathing exercises, which can help maintain clarity and calm during challenging situations. Furthermore, understanding the local wildlife and ecosystem can also enhance safety and survival skills. For example, being aware of potential dangers, such as predators in a wilderness setting or recognizing poisonous plants, can prevent life-threatening encounters. Additionally, knowledge of the environment can aid in navigation, as familiar landmarks or natural indicators can help orient oneself in unfamiliar territory. In many cases, those training for extreme environments might also engage in simulations or practice scenarios that mimic real-life conditions. These exercises often include realistic challenges that test both physical and mental limits, allowing participants to experience the stress of the environment in a controlled way. This preparation physical fitness plays a crucial role in maintaining overall health and well-being. It encompasses not just the ability to perform daily activities with ease, but also the capacity to engage in recreational activities and to manage stress effectively. Regular physical activity helps to strengthen the heart, improve circulation, and enhance lung capacity, which in turn boosts endurance and stamina. Engaging in exercise releases endorphins, often referred to as feel-good hormones, which can elevate mood, reduce feelings of anxiety, and combat depression. Additionally, maintaining a good level of physical fitness can lead to a lower risk of chronic diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer, which is vital for long-term health. Moreover, physical fitness is not just about vigorous workouts or intense training. It also includes flexibility, balance, and coordination, all of which are important components of overall fitness. For instance, activities like yoga and stretching can improve flexibility, which can enhance performance in sports and decrease the risk of injuries. Balance exercises are especially important as we age, helping to prevent falls and maintain independence. Furthermore, physical fitness contributes to better sleep patterns, which is essential for recovery and rejuvenation, promoting a more productive lifestyle. In addition to the physical benefits, being fit can significantly impact one's mental capabilities. Research suggests that regular exercise can improve cognitive function, enhance memory, and increase creativity, making it easier to focus and learn new information. This is particularly important for students and professionals alike, as staying physically active can lead to better academic performance and productivity at work. Engaging in group activities or team sports can also nurture social connections, which are important for emotional well-being, fostering a sense of community and belonging. Another interesting aspect is the impact of physical fitness on aging. Staying active can slow down the aging process, helping to maintain muscle mass, bone density, and joint flexibility, which are essential for an active lifestyle as one grows older. This can lead to a higher quality of life, allowing individuals to enjoy activities they love, whether it's hiking, dancing, or simply playing with grandchildren. Therefore, it is clear that incorporating regular physical activity into one's routine is not just about looking good or losing weight. It's about building a foundation for a healthier, happier life, enriching both physical and mental health in ways that resonate throughout various aspects of daily living. In survival situations, mental exercises can play a crucial role in maintaining focus, decision-making, and overall mental resilience. One effective mental exercise is visualization, where individuals imagine themselves in a survival scenario, like being lost in the wilderness. They can mentally map out their surroundings, identify resources like water and food, and plan their next steps, which helps in building confidence and readiness for real-life situations. Another useful exercise is scenario planning, where one considers various outcomes based on different choices. For example, if faced with a choice to build a shelter or search for food, thinking through the potential outcomes of each decision can foster better judgment under pressure. Practicing mindfulness can also be beneficial. It helps individuals stay present, reducing anxiety and allowing for clearer thinking. By focusing on their breath and observing their thoughts without judgment, they can train their minds to stay calm, even in high-stress situations. Memory games can enhance mental sharpness, which is critical in survival. For instance, one can memorize a list of items, then visualize how these items can be used in a survival context. This not only exercises recall, but also encourages creative thinking about resource utilization. Additionally, practicing problem solving with puzzles or challenges can sharpen critical thinking skills. When faced with an unexpected situation, having a trained mind can lead to quicker, more effective solutions. Engaging in physical activities like hiking or rock climbing can also serve as a mental exercise, as they require planning and adapting to changing environments, helping build mental toughness and adaptability. Moreover, learning practical skills, whether it be knot tying, fire starting, or first aid, can be a form of mental exercise. As one practices these skills, they reinforce confidence and preparedness, which are essential in survival scenarios. Journaling about past experiences or hypothetical survival scenarios can further enhance mental clarity and help individuals process their thoughts and feelings about survival situations. This reflective practice can lead to better self-awareness, which is vital when making split-second decisions in the wild. Additionally, participating in group discussions or workshops about survival techniques can stimulate critical thinking and expose individuals to different perspectives and strategies that may not have been considered before. Each of these exercises not only prepares the mind for survival challenges but also fosters a sense of community and shared knowledge, which can be invaluable in real-life situations where teamwork might be necessary. Building a mental toolkit through these exercises can empower individuals to face the unexpected with confidence and resilience, ensuring they are better equipped to handle whatever challenges may arise. Harvesting medicinal plants is a fascinating and intricate process that combines traditional knowledge with modern practices. Many cultures around the world have relied on these plants for centuries, using them to treat various ailments, enhance well-being, and even promote spiritual healing. The first step in harvesting medicinal plants is understanding the specific species being sought, as each plant has its own unique growing conditions, optimal harvesting times, and parts that are most beneficial for medicinal use. For instance, some plants are best harvested in the spring when their leaves and flowers are vibrant, while others may be more potent in the fall when they are full of seeds or roots. When harvesting, it's crucial to take only what you need, ensuring that the plant can continue to thrive in its natural habitat. This practice not only supports sustainability, but also allows future generations to benefit from these incredible resources. Ethical harvesting techniques include using sharp tools to cut stems cleanly, rather than pulling them out of the ground, which can damage the root systems. Additionally, some herbalists recommend leaving a portion of the plant behind, so it can continue to grow and reproduce, maintaining a healthy ecosystem. The preparation of harvested plants is just as important as the harvesting itself. After gathering the plants, they must be cleaned carefully to remove dirt or insects, and then dried properly to preserve their medicinal properties. Different plants require different drying methods. Some may be best laid out in the shade, while others can be dried in a dehydrator or an oven set to a low temperature. This careful attention to detail ensures that the active compounds within the plants remain intact and effective. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in the science behind medicinal plants, leading to numerous studies that explore their health benefits. For example, the use of echinacea to boost the immune system or ginger to alleviate nausea has been documented in various scientific journals, providing a bridge between traditional herbal practices and modern medicine. Researchers are investigating not only the efficacy of these plants, but also their potential side effects, interactions with prescription medications, and the best forms of preparation for maximum benefit. Moreover, the global market for herbal medicine is expanding, with many people seeking out natural alternatives to pharmaceutical drugs. This trend has sparked a revival of interest in cultivating medicinal plants, both at home and on a larger scale. Community gardens, educational workshops, and even online courses are popping up, teaching individuals how to grow, harvest, and use these plants effectively. This movement not only promotes, throughout history, communities have played a crucial role in the survival of individuals and groups, especially in challenging environments. When people come together, they can share resources, skills, and knowledge, which enhances their ability to face difficulties. For instance, in times of crisis, such as natural disasters or economic downturns, a strong community can provide support, not just emotionally, but also in practical ways. Neighbors may share food, tools, or even shelter, creating a safety net that can be vital for survival. Furthermore, communities often foster networks of communication, allowing members to stay informed about threats, share strategies for coping, and mobilize efforts for mutual aid. In addition, the social aspect of community can greatly influence mental health, which is essential for survival in tough times. When individuals feel connected, they are more likely to cope with stress, anxiety, and the fear of uncertainty. Social bonds can create a sense of belonging, which is fundamental to psychological well-being. This connection can also lead to collective resilience, where the community as a whole becomes stronger, more adaptive, and better equipped to tackle challenges. Moreover, communities often develop their own cultural practices and traditions that can enhance survival strategies. For example, knowledge about local plants for food or medicine can be passed down through generations, ensuring that critical information remains available. In many indigenous cultures, the wisdom of elders regarding sustainable practices and environmental stewardship plays a vital role in the community's ability to thrive. Additionally, economic cooperation within a community can lead to innovative solutions for survival. By pooling resources and skills, community members can start local businesses, create barter systems, or share labor, which can improve their overall economic resilience. This collaborative approach can buffer against external economic shocks, allowing community members to support one another during tough times. Communities also provide a platform for advocacy, where individuals can come together to voice their concerns and push for changes that benefit everyone. This collective action can address systemic issues that threaten survival, such as inadequate healthcare, food insecurity, or environmental degradation. When people unite for a common cause, they can often achieve more significant outcomes than they could individually, leading to improved living conditions for all members. In urban settings, community organizations often play a vital role in addressing these survival needs, offering programs that provide food, education, and health services. These organizations can become lifelines, connecting individuals to necessary resources and fostering a sense of solidarity among residents. In summary, the importance of community in survival cannot be overstated. Survival stories from indigenous peoples are deeply rooted in resilience, and they often highlight the connection between culture, identity, and the land. One remarkable example comes from the Inuit of the Arctic, who have thrived in one of the harshest climates on Earth. Their traditional knowledge of the environment, including the behavior of animals, ice patterns, and weather changes, has been passed down through generations, enabling them to hunt and gather food effectively, even in extreme conditions. For instance, the Inuit developed tools like the kayak and the harpoon, which allowed them to navigate icy waters and hunt seals, a vital food source. Their storytelling traditions also play a crucial role in survival, as tales of past experiences, both triumphs and challenges, educate younger generations about their heritage and the importance of respect for nature. Similarly, the survival stories of the Aboriginal peoples of Australia are filled with wisdom about living in harmony with the land. The Dreamtime stories, which are central to their culture, convey lessons about the environment, social responsibilities, and the significance of animals and plants. One such story tells of the rainbow serpent, a creator being that shaped the landscape and provided water sources, emphasizing the connection between spirituality and nature. Aboriginal peoples have used fire management techniques for thousands of years, promoting biodiversity and healthy ecosystems, showcasing their deep understanding of the land. Their survival skills, such as foraging for bush tucker and tracking animals, have been honed over millennia, highlighting a profound respect for the environment that continues today. In North America, the survival stories of the Lakota Sioux illustrate the importance of community and adaptability. The Lakota faced immense challenges, including forced relocation and loss of their lands, yet they have retained their cultural practices and languages. The story of the buffalo people is fundamental to their identity, as they relied on buffalo for food, clothing, and shelter. The Lakota's traditional hunting methods and their spiritual connection to the buffalo demonstrate their ability to adapt and thrive despite adversity. Their annual gatherings, such as the sun dance, emphasize community strength and the importance of cultural continuity, even in the face of modern challenges. In the Amazon rainforest, the survival stories of the Yanomami people reveal the intricate relationship between humans and their environment. Living in one of the most biodiverse areas on the planet, the Yanomami have developed extensive knowledge of medicinal plants, which they use to treat ailments, showcasing their deep understanding of natural resources. Their stories often reflect a profound survival training techniques have evolved significantly over the years, adapting to changes in technology, environmental awareness, and the needs of modern adventurers. So looking to the future, we can expect even more innovation in this field. As our world faces challenges like climate change, natural disasters, and urban survival scenarios, survival training will likely shift to incorporate new methods and tools that reflect these realities. For instance, with the rise of smart technology, we may see survival training programs integrating mobile applications that provide real-time information about weather patterns, local wildlife, and emergency services. These apps could offer step-by-step guides on how to purify water, identify edible plants, or build a shelter, all tailored to the user's location and specific circumstances. Moreover, as people become more aware of the environment, future survival training might focus more on sustainable practices, emphasizing not just how to survive, but how to do so in a way that respects and preserves nature. This could include teaching skills like foraging, permaculture techniques, and the importance of biodiversity, which would not only prepare individuals for survival situations, but also foster a deeper connection to the natural world. Additionally, we might see a greater emphasis on mental resilience in survival training, recognizing that psychological preparedness is just as crucial as physical skills. Techniques such as mindfulness, stress management, and decision-making under pressure could be integrated into survival courses, helping participants to hone their mental fortitude when faced with unexpected challenges. Furthermore, virtual reality VR and augmented reality AR are likely to play a significant role in the future of survival training. Imagine being able to practice building a fire or navigating through a dense forest in a simulated environment, where you can make mistakes without real-life consequences. This immersive technology could provide a safe space to learn and practice critical survival skills, making the training more engaging and effective. Additionally, as communities become more interconnected through digital platforms, collaborative survival training might emerge, where people share their experiences and skills across various regions, creating a collective knowledge base that enhances everyone's preparedness. In urban settings, survival training may also adapt to address unique challenges posed by city life. This could involve teaching techniques for navigating urban environments during emergencies, such as natural disasters or civil unrest, focusing on skills like first aid, self-defense, and resourcefulness in finding food and shelter in densely populated areas. As the landscape of survival continues to shift, so too will the methods and techniques we use to train individuals for these situations, ensuring that they are prepared for whatever